Hello, everyone. I am not Jeff, as you've probably figured out. I want to make sure that the audio sounds reasonably good. Well, wait, there's always a delay between me and chat. All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Fred. Thank you for being here to moderate. Welcome to the Do Nothing Project. We always offer at the beginning of the Do Nothing Project the opportunity for you to calibrate your expectations by keeping them very low. As mentioned, I'm not Jeff. I'm filling in for your regular host of the Do Nothing Project here on Sunday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And all is well with the Warren family. I'm just filling in to help out with Jeff, who's traveling. And I believe, although I don't want to jinx this happening, I believe next week Aaron will be filling in. So we'll have guest hosts for now, like right now, and then next week, Aaron, who folks will know from the Consciousness Explorers Club, the executive director of the Consciousness Explorers Club. What do we do on Sundays on the Do Nothing Project? Very little, hence the name. And I appreciate everyone here in chat. Thank you. Oh, hey. Hello, Emma. Bonjour, Paul. Hello to Susie and Stephen, Mike G, Colette, Saban, Ruth, and Moira Barney. Welcome, and welcome to Tina and Chris and Lisa as well. And I'm gonna forget to mention everybody. So where are we headed? We're headed towards a 25-minute sit where we're doing very little. I'll offer light guidance, but you're more than welcome to do your own practice, be here for chat, be here for community, and all of those things. The 25-minute sit will have, as I mentioned, light guidance, but it'll finish with a bit of loving kindness or friendliness practice. We'll play around a little bit with some visualization. And we always have some sort of theme that we hang around this. And yes, happy 10th of August. And I just I have a few folks. I used to be a lecturer at the university, and I used to always finish whatever I was going to do for lecture really late, like right before I went to go lecture. And I had kind of a moment just now of that. So I had found this quote: "A good traveler has no fixed plans and is not intent on arriving." And I had that quote in mind because Jeff will talk about at the beginning of our meditation practices, we're sort of settling in, and there's an arriving in that settling in. And in Buddhism as a whole, Dan Harrison likes to say that he's stealing from Joseph Goldstein often, and Joseph Goldstein will comfort Dan Harris by saying that Buddhism is sort of a tradition of thieves, if you will, or kind-hearted thieves, or well-meaning, and we're borrowing and cribbing, right? So it's not like comedy where stealing jokes is frowned upon or using street jokes is frowned upon. All of that is like totally fair game. And so I like this idea of the good traveler. And I like it because we're all traveling on the path and everything else. So I go to my trusty, because it's supposed to be a Tao Te Ching message. I go to my trusty annotated and explained version that is a Derek Lin, the Derek Lin version. And George Thompson, who's a meditation teacher in the UK and also a Qigong practitioner, he had pointed this out. And I was like, that's great. I want to find it here, and I want to see what Derek Lin says about it. And just as I'm about to start, I realize that it's on the fake Lao Tzu quote website. So there is a chapter. There's chapter 27 could I guess have some translations that might be close to this, but they're not the thing. And so So anyway, we're gonna go with it because I just only added the fake part. I actually took a picture beforehand. That's the Tao Te Ching here, but I added the fake afterwards. So we're still gonna look at this notion of the good traveler as our theme for today. Even fake internet quotes can be helpful as inspiration, so we're gonna go with that. And then it might be another translation. So maybe it's fake in that it's not a good translation. But anyway, I had that moment of, and I don't know about everybody else. I find myself in this situation a lot where you try to look up something and research it, and then you end up more confused than you were at the beginning. So you had this idea of curiosity. You're like, wow, I'm gonna go look this up. I'm gonna go figure this out. And then you figure, oh my gosh, I now feel like I know less than I did before. So if that's how you feel, totally get it. But we're gonna play around with not having any fixed plans because apparently I didn't. And we're gonna, what does it feel like to not be intent, um, intent on arriving? That's our deal. And then again, the friendliness practice, a little bit of visualization. So that's all of those things. Hopefully, okay. Let's just see. And I'm with Fred. I still like the quote, even if it is like fake and wrong. But I guess it's maybe more attributed to the internet than it is to the actual text. So, and that's okay too. All right. I have a bell. I'm going to invite it. We're going to sit for 25 minutes. And at the end, if there's any reports or comments or questions, we'll talk. We can talk through those. And I think that, hi, CG. I don't see anything that I need to address. Thank you all for being here. I don't know if I thanked everybody at the beginning, but yeah, thank you for being here. And let's meditate. All right. And if you're just arriving, perfect timing. Excellent point, Paul. Actually, Lao Tzu probably wasn't a real person, but we can talk about that at the end. All right, so we're gonna begin our sit. We're gonna begin our sit by sort of becoming stationary. I would normally say by arriving here, but so we want to sit in a way that is helpful for us, supports us being relaxed and alert. Upright without being uptight is what we're kind of aiming towards. And that could be shoulders over the hips, soft naturalness to the spine. I'll focus on the seated posture, seated in a chair, on a cushion, or maybe a bench. But you could be lying down, standing, walking. All perfectly good postures. And then pausing to see what the inner weather is like before we begin the sit. So what's already here? So maybe you're feeling a little bit sleepy at the end of the day. Maybe it's the beginning of a day and you're a little more on the buzzy side. Just acknowledging what energy and sort of state is already present. And then a few deliberate breaths. Slow and low is the tempo that we're going for. Breathing in through the nose helps us to slow that breath down and sink low into the belly. And as the inhale turns around and becomes the exhale, seeing if we can extend that breath. Not always, but sometimes just those few deliberate breaths are enough to trigger a bit of a state change for me. So I might feel calmer and a little more relaxed. And before we head out on our guidance, just marking this spot here as a waypoint. Just this sense of sitting and knowing that you're sitting. And so if the guidance doesn't resonate with you, you can always come back to this point. It's a meeting point for us. So as we begin, just seeing if we can just be here still and not sort of eager to head toward somewhere. And in meditation, that can be kind of a case of the shoulds. We feel like we should be calm or we should be peaceful or blissful. Or my favorite meditation judgment, it shouldn't be like this. You can think about all of those as judgments around not being where we want to be. And if we have no fixed plans, then we can be right here, wherever that is. So as we get still, we might feel a restlessness. A desire to shift a bit, or just kind of an uncomfortableness around just being here. And so we don't want to push that away necessarily. But we may not want that to be our focus. So we can work with a home base. That could be sounds around you, sounds bleeding from my environment into yours. Or it could be working with the body, maybe even the breath. Using that home base as an anchor. And you might feel like you're right on top of that home base, or you may want to have a little bit of distance. Just seeing what's the least possible amount of effort to stay with that home base. And just checking in again just to see or be aware of if you feel like you're sort of leaning forward, trying to get somewhere. Or maybe, as you say, you feel like the rabbit in Alice in Wonderland looking at the clock, and that you're perpetually running late. And again, no fixed plans, nowhere to be, nowhere to go. And in the nowhere to be, nowhere to go, you can get a kind of unease. Just seeing if you can sit with that. If it comes up, if it doesn't, great. So keep working with your home base if that was your choice, and if not, keep exploring this no fixed plans. If you've been working with your home base, just want to offer an opportunity now to see if you can shift away from your home base for a little bit and allow yourself to just sit. And just sitting, we're operating really from the core part of this faith quote. When we just sit, we have no fixed plans. We are unconcerned or unbothered with arriving anywhere. And so our reality might be sort of an inner rebellion. Intellectual mind may not like that. And just seeing if we can shift our relationship to that inner rebellion and kind of allow it to be there without fighting or arguing or attempting to convince that part of the mind. And just sitting, just being here. Very simple. Okay, and we're going to finish with a bit of a friendliness practice. We'll call it friendliness because I don't think it's quite loving kindness, but If I said, go to your happy place, where would that be? And if you're totally not up for the happy place, where would a slightly better place or your content place be? So maybe it's red pandas on payphones phoning their dog friends while simultaneously getting a delivery of your favorite snack, or any of the absolute absurd things that would bring a smile to your face. And seeing, if you're not a visual person, then maybe hearing or smelling these things, your favorite smell, your favorite place, whatever you can to bring that as real as possible, allowing yourself to soak in to all those mental images and mental talk and smells. And if you're willing, maybe a half smile if you're not feeling like doing this, just a Mona Lisa smile. And if you are up for this, then just a big silly grin. Perhaps it's the cat cafe, all of the most curious of cats, or a deluge of puppies. Maybe it's waxing a perfect GTO judge, pinnacle of muscle cars. Just seeing if you can connect to a bit of the warmth and delight in yourself. Cultivating that spark. And then bringing to mind someone who needs that spark and seeing if you can very carefully, very cautiously offer that spark to them. Seeing them receive this little flame and know that it will become whatever is their content place, their happy place. Offering well wishes and delivering their favorite snacks. Their warmest of teas. Their cuddliest of animal friends. And maybe visualizing a little bit of a smile coming to their face. And then finally seeing that they have crafted that spark and are offering it to their friends. With care and a desire to enrich their friends' mental lives, physical lives. Our sit has ended. I will ring the bell to signify that. Thank you for your practice. Thank you for taking time for yourself on this Sunday or Monday if you are in Australia across the international date line, or if you are staying up very late in the EU. Super, oh, thank you, Eddie. We're super glad that you made the time and were able to join live. And hello to everybody who is watching the recording. Yeah, so we watched Happy Gilmore 2, and there's a lot of going to your happy place. And I was like, I I want to do something with that. So a little bit of improv friendliness practice. Hopefully that lands for folks. As a guide, my concern is always like if you're not up for that, it's like if you're having like not a conducive time. Oh yes, the Cat Cafe. See, I know I've got friends who are like all about making a pilgrimage to the Cat Cafe. So you're super welcome, Susie. And then Fred will thank you, Fred. As I say, Fred has got links in. So for folks that aren't in the New York City area, NY Insight is hosting Jeff coming up. You can find out info on that. I think it is I think it's the 14th, but it's on the link. And there is an online option for it. So I want to make sure to plug that. Super great group and space. I've actually been to see Jeff do a talk at New York Insight while I was in the New York City area. And then thank you, Fred. So Wednesdays, I host and guide a sit. It is at 8:15 Eastern, 7:15, 6:15, 5:15, as you would expect for your North American time zones. And then the latest home base with Jeff, I think if you get frustrated by web pages not loading and things not working, definitely check that out. Very much resonates. So, and then Monday night is Stephanie Dubois, I think, for the CEC. So I think I've got all of that. Definitely check out the online option for the New York Insight group. And with that talk, the New York Insight Meditation Community, I think is what NYICM.com stands for, or .org. Yes, and and check your time zones. And then, as I mentioned, Aaron, so there's a meditation tomorrow night. That's Stephanie. Wednesday, I guide one. And then Brooke, if you go to, I forgot to provide this to Fred, but if you go to brookemeditates.com, Brooke Thomas, member of the community, hosts a sit on Thursdays, and then we'll be back here on Sunday with Aaron. So thank you so much. Really appreciate everybody being here, especially the folks here live. And yeah, I don't know, it's a big honor, so I appreciate it. Thanks for all the hearts and all the thumbs up.